Yes, my beautiful people, what is going on? It's creamslice. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing well. So today, guys, we are rocking the old but faithful stasis warlock build. I covered this just before season 21 dropped, and I had a feeling it was going to be back to its best. And judging by some of these runs I've been doing in the grandmasters, as you can see here from this leaderboard, we are 1808 going into grandmasters. I just want to shout out to the people in the LFG teams that actually let people under level run with them. Like, you're doing an amazing job, so let me just say thank you for that. So as you can see here, when we finish this grandmaster, I'm 1808, these guys are in their 1820s, and we finish on top. Not bragging, but just showing you how capable this build is when you are under light and you are running grandmasters. And there's a few clips from the master lost sectors that I was running. This build is still phenomenal. The mods that Bungie has introduced this season brings it back to its best, in my opinion. We're going to flirt around with the build, create something spectacular. We're going to put some mods together. We're going to get our ability regen up for them turret spams. It's stasis going off, so hit that like button if you are prepared for what's about to happen. No, I'm joking. Just I've got to hype the build up, but yeah, let's get straight to it. So before we get into it, I need you guys to understand the mod placements that we got is very important, so stick around so you can see how we're putting it together. There will be a dim link as always down below in the comment section, but there are two important exotics that make this build work like clockwork. The first being, with a stasis warlock build in endgame content, the OSMIOMANCY gloves are S tier. They are the best exotic when it comes to warlocks and stasis. Further, coldsnap. Your coldsnap grenades have an additional charge that recharge quicker on direct impact. The seekers spawn from coldsnap grenades travel further, so you can dip in between these depending on your situation. If you've got enemies rushing you, throw a cold snap. If you have champions that are at a distance or you want to hold down an area, definitely use the bleak watcher. With this build, it's great because you have the best of both worlds. Obviously, with stasis and the turrets, we can stun every single champion in the game. This is why stasis is elite tier, because with just one subclass and one aspect, we can stun all three champions, leaving your weapon loadout to explore and use anything you want. This is the potency, my friends. You cannot have a stasis build without some firepower. So the Quicksilver Storm is an absolute beast with this stasis build. And I think in one of my comments from my last stasis video, we had one of our family commenting and say, if you want to be an absolute goon in season 21, run the Quicksilver Storm with the OSMIOMANCYs. And you are right, this is madness. The damage ramp up we can get just from using it normally, and then we have the alternate fire mode with grenade chaser. This is gonna also break barrier champion shields, so when they throw that up, you can use your grenade. This is nothing short of amazing, guys. The amount of firepower we have with just an auto rifle is sickening. It's sickening. Champions get deleted. Stasis, as we know, comes with one of the fragments, that is Whisper of Rending, that gives our primary weapons a massive, I think it's 40 or 60% damage bonus against frozen targets. So you can only imagine just how much this wrecks. So we have the aspect Glacial Harvest. When we freeze an enemy, it's going to create stasis shards around the frozen target. The higher the enemy, they create more shards for us to pick up. And then the other aspect is Bleak Watcher. Press and hold the grenade button to convert our grenades into a stasis turret. This will slow our enemies. It will also stun overload champions. So with these two aspects, really leaves a door open in your fragment slot to go crazy, to choose whatever suits your gameplay. But I was playing around with some of the fragments, and what I ended up finishing on worked well in the grandmasters. So the first fragment we are going to be rolling with is Whisper of Chains. This will allow us to take reduced damage when we're near frozen targets. I think it's 40%. Then we have Whisper of Rending, like I explained before. primary ammo weapons do increase damage to frozen targets. So if you are using the Quicksilver, you are in for an absolute treat. We have Whisper of Refraction. Defeating slowed or frozen targets grants us class ability energy. Obviously, running in the Grandmasters, you want to be throwing down that healing rift quite a lot, and also this is going to feed into our grenade ability loop when we get to the mods. And then Whisper of Torment. So as we go on to the stats, definitely focus in resilience and discipline. So we'll go over the mods and show you how we was putting this together. So from the helmet, we're running Connect Siphon, Special Ammo Scout, and Heavy Ammo Finder. So with Connect Siphon, it's going to create orbs of power for us. On the OSMIOMANCYs, we are running double kickstart grenades and impact induction. So impact induction, causing damage with a melee attack, reduces your grenade cooldown. With grenade kickstart, having 2 of these, it does actually work. I was surprised, but Bungie must have changed it at the start of this season. On the chest piece, we've got charged up, and then we have whatever element resistance we are running depending on the activity. On the boots, we've got elemental charge. So elemental charge is like a godsend, and this is what enables this build to go back to its best, not its ultimate form from last season with elemental shards, but elemental charge brings it back to chef's kiss in my opinion. So collecting stasis shards is gonna give us an escalating chance to give us some armor charges. So I think it's every time you collect 4 stasis shards, it's going to give you an armor charge, and we can double that up straight away with stacks on stacks. The great thing about being a warlock and with glacial harvest, every time you 3 something, it's going to leave stasis shards around the enemy whether you kill them or not, so you can passively feed into your abilities that way. And then we have innovation, and we're picking up them orbs of power. It's going to cool down our grenade regen. And lastly, on the bond, we have the double bomber mods. These shave about 20% off our grenade cooldown. So with the fragment that we're using to gain class ability energy when we're freezing our enemies, then this is going to play into a double loop for us, enabling us to throw down our rift a lot more often, giving us that hefty chunk of grenade energy. So we've got distribution as well on top of these, so when we throw down our rift, it's going to give us even more energy back, not just to our grenades but to our melee as well. So that's pretty much how it's going to sit, guys. Really solid build, and I think this season it is just taken off, especially when you use a Quicksilver Storm. Something to note as well, do not turn it into a strand weapon if you plan on using it with this build. It does more damage in its normal state as a kinetic. As we know, we can get kinetic surge as well in some of the activities, so it makes sense to leave it at a kinetic, guys. So yeah, that's going to be it. Hope you like this one. Happy farming, get them GMs done. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. As always, peace.